Yo, 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 it's your boy D Star coming to you live from the pad, about to give it to you raw. I'm about to keep it 1,000. So, I also wanted to talk about Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick says that this season he is no longer protesting the flag, the national anthem. I believe it had something to do with the negotiations and the talks between him and the team. But I think that he proved his point at this point. Now, some people may say, "Oh, come on, man, this guy isn't genuine. He's a wannabe. He was just hopping on the trend. He was hopping on the boat, and now he's just going back to reverting to like he's a sellout." And I don't think that's the case. I think that when you're trying to get your message across, and you got your message across, what more needs to be done? What more needs to be said? The most important part is getting your message across. Now, I believe Jackie Robinson had did the same thing before in the past, because initially he was a all lives matter, and he was so all about inclusion when he first got into the major leagues. But as he got towards the end of his career, he started to realize, wow, they were really using me. They were playing me. And he saw America for what it really was towards the end of his short life. Now, Kaepernick has every right to not stand for the flag because he proved his point. He had the whole world talking about him not protesting. Not just in America, but internationally. People were talking about what this athlete who played for a well-known organization in football. Many legends have played for that team. And it had everybody across the world paying attention to America. Not just America, just from an international standpoint. People looking at Colin Kaepernick and saying, wow, is America really that bad? When they have NFL players taking a knee for the national anthem, and then it really had people researching, a lot of African Americans researching the origin of the national anthem and the verse that spoke about slavery and how America through time, post Martin Luther King, had edited that part out and made this inclusionary, the inclusionary part. So it had a lot of people talking. And I think what he did was made people look at the emotions and the feelings of people who are disadvantaged. Even though Colin Kaepernick you can't even really say that he grew up in a tough part of town. I believe he was raised by Caucasian parents, and his biological parents, his mother is white, and his father, I don't know, we can assume is black, but he identifies himself as a black man. He has every right to grow up and say, I'm a tragic mulatto. I don't know if I'm black. I don't know if I identify with white. But he identifies himself as a black man, listens to several conscious people, and all up and down his timeline, you see Sean King, you see people who are activists speaking out for black people or people of color, a term I really don't like, but he identifies himself as a black man who speaks up for black issues, and I think the whole world saw that throughout the whole entire world, and also the type of work that he's doing off the field. Remember, when his jersey sales skyrocketed, it wasn't like he just took this money and was, okay, I'm going to buy me a Bentley, or I'm going to buy me no, he took that money that he got from all of the people who were supporting him, buying his jersey internationally, right? You would think his jersey sales would plummet, and he didn't really have a good season, but everybody was buying his jersey for what he stood for. And yeah, so many people hating on him, saying, oh, some of the legends. I believe Jim Brown has said some disparaging remarks about Colin Kaepernick. But Colin Kaepernick had jerseys selling all across the world. And he took this money and he reinvested back into, I believe, the city of Oakland, or I'm not sure where, but he put that money towards disadvantaged kids. And you got to give him props, because see, a lot of us, we like to say, oh, this person's selling out and this person's doing this and doing that, but you don't do the research to see what these people actually do. That's why I'm kind of leery on calling Steve Harvey a coon or something like that, because the actual work that he's done for young black men, in particular, young black men, young black boys, has been outstanding. That camp that he has with that ranch, that's outstanding, where he helps out specifically disadvantaged kids and tries to show them how to be men. Now, we can disagree with a lot. I disagree with a lot of stuff that he says, that whole forget slavery stuff, and some of this other stuff, like meeting with Trump. It really wasn't that big of a deal to me. But when it comes to the doing part, a lot of times African Americans, we're in the call out business, calling a person out for their cooning, but they're also in the doing part. They're in the doing business. You hear many people talking about Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington was a coon. Read his book, Up From Slavery. It was a coon. It was go along to get along. Don't ever complain about racism. Just get up and just do something. And a lot of people called him a coon. He even did, during his speaking engagements, he would do a segment where he would do darky jokes. And a lot of times when you look at the old flyers with Booker T. Washington on there, it was almost put like it was a circus act or something. Even as black and as intellectual as he was, the whites did not see him as their equal. They just saw him as some kind of show. No different from a minstrel show. No matter how intelligent or eloquent he came off, they were like, wow, look at this exceptional Negro. Kind of what they did with Barack Obama. Now, I digress. I'm going a little deep here. But when it came to the doing part, though he was doing all of these darky jokes, though he was doing all of these things where it may have came off like he was putting black people down and lifting white people up, he was putting that money towards his own school. He was putting that money for black people, to lift up black people. You see, to get his own black school. He was taking a white supremacist money and using that white supremacist money for black empowerment. You see, so when it gets to the doing part, you had to be careful, because sometimes, and I saw a lot of people criticize the NAACP, or not the NAACP, where they call the HBCUs, historical black college universities, since we're already segueing into Booker T. Washington and the HBCUs. The HBCUs met with Trump, and when they sat down and they met with Trump, they were expecting to get some kind of cookie or some kind of snack, symbolic cookie and snack, which meant money, some kind of hand-me-down. This has historically always been the case with historic HBCUs. They have to pander to the white supremacists, play on their guilt to get money from them, and they often have to do humiliating things in order to get money. That's the only way that you're going to keep the historical black college university funded, because a lot of times these people who graduate the historical black college universities, they don't come back, and no, some of them among the top elite, some of the fraternities, yes, they do reinvest with HBCUs, but often it's not enough support from the entire class or the entire community of alumni to keep the schools running properly and running good. It was several HBCUs that shut down during the recession, and as I say, HBCUs were started by and named after a lot of white intellectuals, white people, assimilationists. Okay, and there's always been this history of we have to pander to the white supremacists because they have the resources. So they thought that they were going to go with Trump and they were going to do this whole Trump deal, meet with Trump. But everybody saw that meeting with Trump wasn't necessarily, didn't it result in any money or resources going back to the schools. And there was an article by The Root that said that the HBCU presidents were saying that, wow, we got played. But as an HBCU president, you have to attend a meeting with Donald Trump because you're going to have several people tell you, well, why didn't you? Why didn't you go meet with the president? You guys say that you guys don't have any money and you don't have the resources. Why didn't you go with the president to see if you can get any resources? So they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. And a lot of these black people that want to talk mess about them meeting with Trump, okay, how much money are you giving towards the HBCUs? I know I'm not, so I can't really blame them for going to Trump to see if they could possibly get a butter biscuit or a whole cake, an extra ration of food. Unfortunately, I don't mean to laugh or joke about it because you don't joke about racism, but this is a type of mindset that they have as black educators. Because I mean, we can go even deeper about how most universities don't like to hire black professors. Now, I haven't checked the statistics on black universities, but I don't even know the racial makeup of professors that are at these historical black colleges. So I can't really criticize them for going to meet with Trump. I can say, wow, you guys should have known, because they have Steve Bannon, a open white supremacist who is known for having ideas of Nazis and Nazi-loving, Nazi-affectionate, apologist type of ideas and thoughts. You should have known that they were going to play you, but at the same time, you can't turn down that meeting because you're going to get criticized either way. So we have to be careful about who we call coons. And I mean, yes, a person could engage in coon behavior, but at the same time, as far as the doing part, what are you doing? Are you contributing to the HBCUs? Right? You want to call Colin Kaepernick a coon because he refused to stand for the national anthem? I mean, because he says that he's going to stand for the national anthem from this season forward. But you continue to take shit from white people every single day when you go to work. And what are you doing with the resources that you have? You may not have a lot of money, but what are you doing to uplift your people? So that concludes the end of my video. Drop a comment below. Tell me what you guys think. It's your boy D Star. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.